So here's the final drive housing, and we've got to get rid of this. We're going to remove this seal here. You can see the lip of it there. Now I went to buy a oil seal remover tool, but it was about this wide, and it's not going to get in there. Plus it wouldn't have worked anyway because we got this shaft in there, which I'm not even going to attempt to remove. So a bit of a clean up first, so that we don't have shit going into there, because there's bearings and gears and all sorts there. Before we start, I don't know if you can see, well here's the new seal. This old one, you go around now, and here it seems to have bulged out. There's an indentation there which is supposed to be there in the housing, but so I'm thinking that's where the oil leak's coming from. So who knows why that happened, that there might have been too much weight on the front axle with too much dirt in a load, but I suspect and that's our issue. Alright, let's get him out so I could start prizing away anywhere. But in my mind the strongest part of the casing is here, so I'm going to try and leave this alone. Even though it's a pretty thick bit of metal, you want to err on the side of caution. Let's get a hammer. It's in pretty tight. Doesn't matter if we mangle it, it's coming out anyway. Maybe this wedge I'm using is too big. Let's try something smaller. I just want to explain to you that oil seal's in two parts. Look. See? So when it goes back in, they'll go in separate locations. So when I get rid of this one, it might come out a bit at a time. I hope that makes sense. Right, so I've just put a picker in there. That'll do for a start. I think I'm actually pulling the seal to pieces, but yeah. That might help me see what's going on. It's all in the choice of implement. So that's the correct size screwdriver, because it's thinner, and you can see now it's slowly coming out. There we go. Wasn't that hard. So, my thought is, see it here, it got mangled somehow. which was here, that's where the seal started leaking. So there's our two pieces of the seal. That goes up onto the part that's on the tractor. We'll go and have a look. Remember I said it comes into two parts? So that goes up here. Oops. Which tells me that that there is the old one. It didn't come out. Because that's not going to go over the top of that lip, no way known. So that shiny bit you see there is this bit here, so we better remove that. If we just give it a clean up, we might see the lip that we've got to prise down. We're just going to use something very fine. Don't want to be damaging stuff. So I've got this fine little pick here. As usual, I've got a hammer. God, I've picked the weakest piss hammer in the world here. What a disaster. Anyway, we've got a inroads now. If you've watched the Thunderbirds as a kid and they're doing something delicate like this, you'll hear him going, "Come on, baby, come on." That's the 60s for you. Alright, you can see we're prizing that top half of the seal out. And the way that's getting mangled, it'll be of no use again. No fancy tools required. Well, there probably is one, but it's not worth me having. Hopefully I don't have to do this too many times. Oh, I think that's enough for that one. So I've taken that top part of the seal off. I'm going to give him a clean, and then the new top half I'll put up like that. And if it doesn't go all the way, it doesn't matter. What I can see happening later on is that whole final drive assembly will get pressed up with a jack because it's bloody heavy. What I do want to tell you is, if I can still see, I saw another video of someone doing something similar on a different type of tractor. He replaced the seal, and then there was an oil leak again later. When he pulled it apart the second time, this is where I took notice, there was a hairline fracture around here. So it was never going to seal. And just as I'm videotaping, Junior, the crazy dog, wants to get in on the action. I hope you can hear him. Go! Alright, there's the new one. And it's going to go up like that. Bit of grease won't hurt. So here's the seal, and it's going to go in there. Tiny bit of grease on the outside. It might help, because it's a tight fit for a reason. It's an oil seal, it's going to keep oil out of there. Now the secret here is to get it to go down straight. And we're going to do that. Need something flat. Be good if it was in two pieces. Let's see how we go, just nice and slow. Alright, you want proof that I've never done this before? Geez, I'm an idiot. Look. It just pulls out. As long as I remember which side goes in, that one. And now I can do something like this with a bigger socket. Here you live and learn, eh? So on the very first video I ever did, can you see up here, I bought this bearing and seal driver set. Stupid me, should have remembered that at the beginning. Isn't that a lot easier? Now I've been here a long time banging this in. It's all about getting it straight. If you can see, we've just got a little bit to go here. It's got to be flush. So if I go the jack, it's not doing anything anymore. It's the whole axle's coming up. So all I can do is I've put a rag here to keep crap away from inside and slowly bang it. And I can see the results. I don't know if you can. Drop the kingpin in, shaft, whatever it's called. There we go. I think it went in too far. Ordered a new oil seal here that Paul at Brismac advised me to get. Thank you, Paul. I wouldn't have thought of it. Just put a bit of oil on it. think it sits in there in the recess. Yep, nice snug fit. Now, we had a shim from memory. Make sure it's nice and clean. Now that shim didn't have to come out, I was told, and knowing me, I was just having a muck around, see what's there or not. Then there was this big thick washer, and now for the piece de resistance. Is the bolt going to grab that kingpin that's fallen down? Don't know. Not quite, you know. Oh no, we have got it. No, damn, it's just not biting enough. What do I do here? Do I push on the jack? Let's have a look. Will that help? Because that's what it's for, that's to grab that kingpin. Bummer. How do I lift him up just that little bit more? I don't know. A bit more banging. Let's see. Just missed him. Righto, we're in. I managed a bit of levering and that, but it's got it. It was just a case of up, down, wiggle, bang, muck around with the jack, and we've done it. So, just a recap, we've got the new seal in. There's the washer, then there's this lock washer which we've got to bang back up, and the shim. You saw me undo that, it's the opposite to put up. So what I forgot to do was put the steering arm in at the start. So I got it all the way up and in, and then it wasn't aligned for the steering arm. Amateur's mistakes. So we're putting the seal back in now, bloody ridiculous. As you can see, I just keep tapping on that trapezoid arm. Hopefully that'll go in. Test and adjust. And again. Here we go. So as you can see, I can't show you both things at once, but I'm wanting the steering arm to lock in place, and I want this gap here to disappear, which is difficult because you've got to get this thing straight here. Alright, just watch. Alright, that's in. Nearly. And I've got enough to get some threads on the castle nut, as it's called. Someone remind me to put the split pin in. Right, that's good. Now it's just a case of trying to jig this straight. I just spent half an hour on this before. There we go.